Hey, welcome.
No, don't do that. Hang on, I'm just going to turn the ringer off my phone.
Why?
Hey, welcome.
What do we start with?
Soul sister.
I want to be myself, Ollie. I want to be myself.
Radio, stereo.
I'm a bit weird, and that's fine. Mum said so. Okay.
Was that a reference, or did your mum actually say you were a bit weird?
I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
No, none of us are.
Finn,
Where it came
are you
from.
ready?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hang on, no, slow down. Was that a reference, or did your
No,
mum genuinely say you're a bit weird and that's okay?
Yeah.
Oh, fine. My
I
mum
think
says
I
that's
think
pretty
the
much
joke
okay.
was that everyone's like, I'm so like funny. My mum said so. So unless it was an actual reference, it was just a joke that's gone so far over your head.
Yeah.
Now Sarah's made up a mini reference.
It is now a reference.
Okay.
Made it into a pseudo reference.
Welcome. This is the Gown Lowdown, made to get the lowdown on the lives of people in sport at Cambridge, and also an excuse to be nosy and ask some juicy questions. I'm Sarah, a medic and uni hockey player, and I'm joined by Ollie Little, uni rugby player and powerlifter, and Finn Edwards, who is first and foremost a fresher, but also plays a bit of rugby too.
Little bit.
Intro done. Boys, how are we doing?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Well rested. How are you, Ollie?
Are
Bit
you
sore?
well rested? I'm not well rested at all, mate. You could probably hear it in my voice.
I slept in until 2. I'm very well rested.
Oh, did you actually?
I woke up at 9:45 and I was like, I'm going to smash out some admin today, a few tasks, bit of work, go to the gym. And next thing I know, it's like 2. And I was like, I could go watch the rugby now.
So you were in bed between 9:45 and 2, but actually awake?
Nah, sleep.
Were you ever like that as a fresher?
Me as a fresher.
Back
Like
in the day.
the 2 p.m.
But
days?
I did medicine and
that's
you
kinda
do
true.
Landec, so slightly different vibes.
Nothing wrong with
My
Landec.
God, look
There's
at the elitism over here.
People love to hate
As
on
in, I
Landec.
Get off your medic high
I didn't
horse.
have the time to be like, sleeping that much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Would you be that sort of a person if you could?
Probably not.
Or would
people
you
that
have
know
been?
me, people that know me well, know that I sleep very little. I get too excited about life, and I just will sleep 4 hours or something. Wake up at. I sent you the messages the other day at 6 a.m.
Wasn't even
about
that.
the
It was
podcast.
5:45.
5:45, but I've been up since 4, just ready for the day to get going.
So you don't know this actually. So the listeners now will have seen the poster that we put out for the podcast.
Yeah.
And Sarah, to her credit, although I don't think the post will give her this credit, did the animations. Only people who listen will get that credit.
There's animations.
Well,
He knows not.
She doodled on the picture.
Okay, fair enough.
Not that fancy.
Quite cool, isn't it?
I woke up at 5:20 because I was really nervous for powerlifting varsity. And 20 minutes later, I was trying to sleep and my phone buzzed and I picked it up and it was Sarah sending sketches going, hey, I haven't been able to sleep at all, so I told. And send me all these sketches that she'd been doing, God knows for how long as well, probably the last 2 or 3 hours or something like that.
I don't know. I find it hard to sleep when there's things to do.
In Cambridge, there's
Too,
always
big
things
time.
to do.
Big time.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Really?
So by that logic, you just don't have anything to do.
I sent you both my timetables for the week. I have lectures on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe one supervision a week. Maybe one essay every other week. Apart from that, what do I do with my day?
Yeah. To
Nothing.
be fair,
mate.
in the timetable, we included your Revs, your weekly Revs trip and your weekly Lola's trip. didn't
Oh,
we?
big time. They're staples of my career.
Can you clarify to me, because this went on, I was so confused. How do you have his timetable on your laptop?
Because I gave it to
Yeah, me and Finn had a serious meeting before this whole thing got
Bold
going.
Brothers. Very nice coffee establishment.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Sponsor us?
I've been.
Yeah, please.
Sponsor us.
Please.
We don't have our first viewer yet, and we're asking for sponsors. Definitely not yet.
Well, they sponsored my hockey team last year.
Did they?
Yeah,
That's because your hockey team actually does things that contribute positively to the university.
Oh, you just wait, mate. After episode 1, boom. This is gonna.
So what's your vision for after episode 1 then?
I don't know.
All right, go on then. So I'll sell it a bit better than this Muppet over here.
Oh, with the podcast, the vibe that I want is to sit people down that have lived interesting lives and ask them interesting questions and find out lots about them. I love listening to podcasts. I love working out how people are successful and how they motivate themselves and all of that. And I take inspiration from that. And so I hope that by getting people from around Cambridge and sitting them down and asking those questions, I myself will hopefully learn a few things, and any listeners will also learn a few things.
So took the words that was rehearsed from both of us. So
Oh, really? Did you talk about that at Bold Brothers?
Yeah.
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 That's what you found out. It was actually you sitting down, Sarah, and going, right, here's what I see from the podcast. You just plagiarized Finn Edwards.
that could get you kicked out of the uni, mate.
Yeah.
You presented yourself really well at Ball Brothers.
She fed back to me. You
Yeah.
did, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, you did.
Which is weird because I'm guessing you've had a bit of mixed fresher feedback from people, and
yeah.
I mean, when I was a fresher, I certainly gave mixed feedback, and I'd say you're more confident and louder than I was as a fresher.
I did get once at Revs, "Are you fresher Finn who plays rugby?"
Oh,
and I
wow.
went,
That's not
"Yeah,"
bad.
and they went, "Ugh," and walked off.
Oh, well,
That was bad.
That's more bad.
That's all right, isn't it?
That's tough.
Mm.
No, but at Ball Brothers, I felt like you came in and your attitude was that you wanted to like use your time in a good way, and I thought that was really nice. And like I wasn't like that as a fresher. I was just like, oh, medicine and hockey and socializing, and that's enough, and I don't need more than that.
Yeah.
But you kind of wanted to do more, which I thought was actually really nice.
If he doesn't do more, he does.
Well, yeah.
Nothing.
I was having this
Sleeps.
conversation.
He just sleeps
yeah.
until 2.
Yeah, I would feel just like a bit of a fraud if I didn't actually do
Cambridge abroad.
anything else.
So is that a call out for the Landex who don't do anything else?
Oh.
No, because most of them like work overtime, so they like read around the subject, or they'll apply for like spring weeks, or it's boring, innit?
Yeah.
Just do a podcast, mate. Just do a podcast.
That is so true. I find that in medicine as well, that you can so easily spend so much of your life just absorbed by a subject because there's like an endless amount of knowledge out there. But if you do that, then your identity becomes your subject. And that's one thing that I guess I really wouldn't want for myself. And I don't know if you guys probably have similar vibes because you both play sport and do other things.
I definitely don't want to just be known as Landec. That'd be really bad. That'd be really bad. In fact, if you check my LinkedIn, I don't do Landec. I do economics and law at Cambridge.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What do you know about law?
Well, half of like a lot of my degree is law.
Yeah, I know.
Constitutional
What do you know
law.
about your degree?
Not much.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm going to
Well,
find
there
out.
we go.
That's the whole point of doing a degree, mate. I don't walk in as a land economist. I leave as a land
Well,
economist.
then, hopefully on this journey on the podcast, we'll see you learn a lot more about the law side of your degree.
I'll give a law fact at the start of every week.
A law fact.
Fact.
Oh, fact. Sorry. Okay.
That would be really useful. I'd love to learn a bit about them.
All right. Can you start us off then?
Next week. Right, Ollie, how was your powerlifting?
Yeah.
Tell us, please.
I get so self-conscious when I talk about it. It was good. You know what? No, I need to sell the club. Like, the club is unbelievable. 10th win over Oxford in a row. Some of the guys there, yeah, pretty wild. And it was expected to be close this year, particularly on the women's front. Like the captains, Rachel and Amy, they did some number crunching to figure out what everyone's best performance would be. And their estimate was with the woman that there would be 1 point in it. And I think there ended up being 9 or 10.
Wow.
So the woman did a hell of a job. And that kind of set the tone for the day. And it meant that we had to live up to that standard. And luckily, most of us did. I had a few typical Ollie moments that...
What a typical Ollie moment.
weren't so good. So the night before weigh-in, you're supposed to cut out fiber more or less during the week. And in my diet, I eat so much fiber because I have a ridiculous number of vegetables, because my mum, shout out to Kelly Little, she raised me very well to do so. And I had said to my handler, the handler's the guy that picks the weights on the day, helps you with, I don't know, settling your nerves, slapping your back, letting you sniff ammonia, whatever you're doing. Yeah, you sniff ammonia to hype you up.
Oh.
Yeah, it did not work for me yesterday. It threw me off completely. But anyway, yeah, he said to me, right, remember, no vegetables today. And with my meals, I feel so dirty if I don't have a vegetable. And I ended up it was about 9 p.m. the night before, and I needed to get to sleep, but I was having turkey mince, I was having rice, and that was it. And I looked at this plate and I was just like, I feel dirty eating this meal. And I begged him, and this was probably a back and forth of about 15 minutes for a carrot. I said to him, please, like, I've cut out spinach, I've cut out green beans, I've cut out avocado. I've made some banging guacamole that's now going to go to waste because I'm going to go to bloody Oxford and it's going to sit there in the fridge for 2 days.
Yeah.
Can I please have a carrot? He said no. I didn't get carrot. Luckily, I made weight. And then on the day, I was the only lifter to completely forget to put on his singlet. The singlet's the really weird unitard thing that you wear to do a lift. And I went on, did the lift, and the judges didn't even notice. So that meant that at the formal afterwards, I got fairly brutalized in the sort of drinking games that we did for being, dick of the day. That's sort of
just for not wearing your singlet.
Yeah.
Is that a big deal?
Oh, the sport is so obviously hockey and rugby are so liberal with, I don't know, their approaches to it, and it's about individual genius, brilliance, whatever. Or certainly that's very much an element of it. Powerlifting is just rigid. It's so rigid. You have to wear a certain type of t-shirt, a certain singlet. You have to wear a certain type of shoe. And if you break those rules, it doesn't matter if I pick up X amount of weight and I do it perfectly, it doesn't count. It's weird. But yeah, massive shout out to everyone at CPLC. I'm speaking on their behalf, but I certainly wasn't the key player.
You've just gone, the sport is insanely weird and rigid, and they
No,
make you wear weird shit.
When did I say weird?
I have to do all this shit. I can't even eat a carrot, but it's such a cool club, and I want everyone to join. Great selling point. Yeah.
You've put so many words in my mouth.
I'm going to sign up. Thanks.
When did I say weird? And when did I?
You said that if we look back, you went, they make you wear this weird unitard thing.
Well, the unitard is weird, to be fair. Nothing about the sport is weird, but
after the unitard.
Yeah, it is certainly a different world. And it was very, go on.
I have a question.
Put your hand up.
I was going to say, just before you do a big lift,
yeah,
in those seconds before, what are you thinking?
That's such a good question.
It depends. Jim Bob from Karufka really took the piss out of me for bringing ammonia to the strength testing, but you do sniff ammonia and it kind of just goes straight to your head. It's really strong. It hypes you up. So not that much, if that's the case. If not, it's weird because obviously you guys are rugby and hockey. You need to last for 80 minutes or 60 minutes?
No, 70.
70. All right. I didn't know. I haven't played hockey since I was 10.
Come on.
Sorry. But this is this one moment where, you have a bar on your back and your entire performance on the day depends on that one moment. And so you are literally channeling, and maybe this is oversetting it slightly, but you're channeling sort of the work you've put in over the past few months and the suffering you've been through, both in those domains, in work domains and outside, and you're putting it into that moment because actually it's just this split second and everything you've worked for counts.
He was thinking,
towards it.
Fuck, this better be good. Otherwise I should have just eaten my carrot.
Yeah, pretty much. I was fuming at my handler. But
it's a lot. That's a lot.
There's nowhere to hide. And I had food poisoning a week out, and that sent me into a big spiral because if you have food poisoning a week out from rugby varsity or hockey varsity, you can still put in a performance for 80 minutes, and it's your micro contributions that really account to this bigger picture. But powerlifting, it's just this one moment that counts for everything, and that pressure's not for everyone. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily the mold for it. Some of the other guys, they're under pressure, they're unbelievable.
Pressure makes diamonds.
It does. And
Are you good under pressure, Finn?
Yeah, very good under pressure.
What
actually
makes you say yes?
Just literally every single exam I've ever done, just massively overperforming it. Because
really,
because I wouldn't say I overperform. I'd say other people underperform, which brings the boundaries down, which means I look fine.
People are weak.
Crumbled. No, they are. They're a bit weak. Just do the exam, mate. It's fine. No. I'd say under pressure. Under pressure, I'm pretty.
What
good.
about in sport? Because I find that I was good in exams at school, but sport's different.
Sport, I really don't feel any. I've had this conversation with a few people. I don't feel nervous before a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just beat myself up after a game. So I never care about my performance going in. People have weird rituals. They'll just sit there in silence. The game last Wednesday at De Montfort University, I got told off by Thomas, I should say, before the game, just doing a bunch of roly-polies because that was my
That's a
rule.
weird ritual,
That's not a weird ritual. I just wanted to do some. I saw videos of pandas going around, and I was I wonder if I could.
I thought you were trying to say it wasn't weird.
No. Because I just before a game, I was completely switch off, don't really care.
Yeah.
After a game for like 2 or 3 days, I'll just like go over there. I think like fuck. Yeah, I didn't do this, didn't do that. Which
Well,
probably
no,
isn't
the first
healthiest thing
24
to do.
hours in that process, you're probably not thinking too much, aren't you?
I don't think a lot any of the time. But like, what do you mean, like, because I'll be at Revs or something? Yeah.
Post-game celebration, and then the reflection part comes.
No, it's when it's not a celebration, mate. It's when you sit in Revs and you think, bad. That was
How
really
many
bad.
times is we still talk about the rugby?
Twice. And then once I just went home and
Yeah,
wanted to leave the uni.
Oh,
So, yeah, puts you in a hole, mate. Sometimes it can put you in a hole.
It's put you in a hole before.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
What happened? Tell me about a time that you've been in a hole.
Long story, mate.
Okay.
Long story.
We don't have to talk about that just yet. We can
That's
wait.
all right. Just beat myself up after a game, and then, yeah, really wasn't very happy. How'd you deal with pressure? Let's shift the topic.
I was about to ask that as well.
Yeah.
Come on then. What's your pre-game routine? Yeah.
So I'm really bad under pressure, hence why I wanted to ask these questions, because I find it useful getting inspiration from other people. I really rate your roly-poly thing, because actually that
was ad hoc. I've never done that before.
But do you know what you're doing when you do that? It's just being silly. Yeah.
Was that in the change room or was that on the field?
I was on the field when everyone was warming up, because I'd watched prior to this Kung Fu Panda 3, where they all move around in their village by rolling around. And so I thought,
the third one.
how can I'm not missing out on an awful lot. Really? But yeah, compared to the first two at least.
There's a series on Netflix as well. How did they get Jack?
There's
Black
two.
to do that? 2 series. All right.
Going back to the roly-polies.
Yeah.
No, going back to.
I think. Well, I'm using Finn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it's putting you in a very kind of calm, happy like mindset by doing that. And last year was my first year playing blues, and I honestly played awful. Like every game I'd go in overthinking it, being like I'm going to be dropped. Like the coach will think I'm rubbish, the captain thinks I'm rubbish, everyone on the team thinks I'm rubbish, and then I played rubbish. You know, as a forward, I think I scored 3 goals all season. It was really terrible.
You meant to score
more than 3. Come on.
How many games is this?
Bear in mind, we play Wednesdays and Saturdays.
So this is
2 times a week.
20
games you play?
Oh my god, something like maybe I played about 40 games and I scored
3
3 goals.
Not bad goal
For a
scoring
forward.
tally.
How the hell did you keep your place for 40 games
make
if
it
you're
into
scoring
the
3
West Ham
goals?
side.
Because I was not scoring because I'd get anxiety before taking the shot, I guess.
Okay.
But I was able to play like in the general.
Oh,
game.
fine.
So
Okay,
I
you
could
just
pass
had
balls and stuff, but I wasn't good at actually getting the shot off and getting it in the goal.
Have you ever heard of the yips?
What?
The yips.
No.
Have you heard of the yips?
So I have no.
It applies to sports that are very like motor pathway based. You know, it's a habitual action that you just repeat over and over again. And I guess hockey shooting is a little bit like that. Golf is one, cricket's another, darts is another, where you just get. It happens to professional athletes. It happened to me with my cricket at school, and say
you're a professional cricket player in school.
I would have been. I would have been if I hadn't yipped out. Yeah,
must have been gun, mate.
100%. And what happened? So my cricket example was bowling, and you do this action day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, and all of a sudden something goes wrong once, and you're in your head about it, and you can't commit to it in the way you'd want to, and as a result, you just completely cock it up, and it ends up being, you know, I bowled and it would literally land at the batsman's head, which is not supposed to, or at my own feet. And it's crazy because obviously it's not reflective of ability, and maybe you had the same thing with your hockey. Where if you can commit to it properly with conviction, the chances are it's going to be so much better. Yeah,
I do. So this year, really nice news is that I'm playing a lot better and I'm scoring a lot more.
How many goals you on?
Well, I scored my 4th hat trick yesterday of the season. So it's pretty cool.
Thanks.
But I will say, I do want to say with that I wouldn't be scoring that if it wasn't for the fact that my team are all very, very good and they pass me the right balls. I am not. So the way I'm scoring goals, my advice to anyone who's a forward out there is to study other forwards, and it doesn't have to be in your own sport. So I've studied like the footballers. So I'd say I've looked at Haaland and I've looked at Ronaldo. And okay, I don't have height and I don't have speed necessarily, but the third thing that they do that's really impressive is be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I've been doing this year, just thinking about, okay, when am I going to commit and when am I not going to commit? And then usually when I commit, I just go really hard and make sure I'm in the right place at the right time, score the goals. It looks like I'm good, but actually it's all just in my head, knowing what to do. So being more tactical. So I'm really not that good a hockey player, but I'm good at thinking about hockey, which makes me score goals.
So your mooning routine.
Whoa, I wouldn't do that on the podcast.
No,
I
I'm
get
just going to
taken
blow
down.
past that. That your morning routine at the moment is either doing doodles and then
So
sending them to me,
so
or looking at Erling Haaland and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, basically. So funny, right? So Saturday, I sent you at 5:45 those things. I had a hockey game that day at 12:30, so I had a little nap between 6 and 9 a.m. So just like I thought I need a bit.
I think.
Okay, big nap, just to like get my
not
energy.
by his standards, but yeah.
No, because a big nap is just to sleep.
Where's the threshold? We'll get to that now. That's an interesting question, but we'll get to that later. Sorry, go on.
I was just telling you my
maths
morning
behind it.
routine. Okay, so then I did my little sleep. Then I woke up, had some breakfast, and then I just.
What did you eat for breakfast?
Porridge. It has to be porridge on the day of a game.
Did you see that? That was a stop bloody interrupting me. Though.
Yeah, sorry. Carry on.
That was the death eyes you were talking about.
Then I think about my things that I'm gonna do, and I think about the players and exactly how I'm gonna commit hard. And then on the way there, when I'm driving or I'm cycling across, hype music, get really happy. And so this is what I mean about the roly-poly stuff, is I make myself in a really good mood. I'll go sing in the changing rooms and dance around for a bit. And then I go on the pitch and have a fun time, and it's great.
What hype up songs do you listen to?
I could show you our playlist, to be fair. We've got one. My favourite song at the moment that gets me really hyped is, what's it called?
I don't know.
This is shout out to GT. Don't upset the rhythm. Really sing it really with conviction.
Can you sing it now?
Go, baby, go. But a remix of that.
No, not a remix, just that song.
Oh, who's GT? I'm thinking of
GT's my friend.
Oh, fine. Oh, sorry. The Noisettes, is it them?
Yeah.
Don't upset the rhythm, no.
That really gets me going.
That's not hype. That's like upbeat vibes.
But that's it. I don't want to be so hyped that I'm over adrenalized and like do stupid things, because I still need my head on me. All my hockey is in my head. So I want to be happy, but I don't want to be overhyped. There you go.
You're more of an overthinker than I first took you for, I think. Don't get me wrong, I knew you were an overthinker, but I would say you're analytic and what's the word? You scrutinize in a more assiduous way than I'd imagined you would.
You're not the first person to say that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Does it drive you mad? Or do you drive yourself mad sometimes?
You're gonna start making her overthink about this now.
No, he's not, because actually I think I've pretty much figured myself out.
Well, I think every overthinker has probably thought this thought as well, because obviously I'm an overthinker as well. And, you just think, all right, if you think you're an overthinker, you're just going to overthink more. I'm not trying to, psych you out or anything.
No, I don't feel psyched out, don't worry.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I am an overthinker, but I like it. I think it's a useful skill to have.
Yeah.
I like hanging out on my own for decent amounts of time every week, because I think a lot of people are constantly on the move and with friends and stuff, and I love that. That gives me energy, because I'm an extrovert and I love hanging out with people. But I need that time to just think things through, and it's helpful. I mean, it's like you after a game when you think about the game and you beat yourself up.
Yeah.
But then you get better.
Yeah. Pardon?
Then you get better from that.
Yeah, sometimes.
You do though, like long term, you're understanding and you get overall direction, and it definitely helps.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's definitely helped me this year, particularly with the powerlifting thing, because look, so I had knee surgery back in February, and it was my second one, and it kind of knocked me down real good, or real bad rather. And so the rugby has just purely been about enjoyment, so that's kind of fine. But a sport like powerlifting, where you just overthink as much as you do, because like I showed up on Saturday at 11.
Mm-hmm.
We weighed in at 12, competition finished near 6. I was on the platform probably for about a total of 45 seconds. That's it. And so you have so much time to sort of think and get in your own head and, I don't know, go over the potential permutations of what's going to happen. And I remember I was waiting for my third bench press, and I was just thinking, God, all these 10 pricks before me, they're going to have to do those first, and I'd rather just get mine done. But what really helped me is actually thinking, okay, you got to cherish this stuff. Like, we're in such a unique position at the moment to be able to still play sport to a high standard that actually matters. Like you get into, the adult world, and, I played some adult rugby last year. It doesn't matter. The cultures are very different as well, and it's just that little bit more meaningless. It's have it or leave it. Is that the expression? I don't know.
Take it or leave
Take
it.
it.
Take it or leave it. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah. But there's so much you can cherish here and say, okay, I've worked hard for this, and this is probably one of the final opportunities you will get to express yourself in the way you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Someone coming in.
Someone's trying to break in, mate.
They want to hear this rousing speech about cherishing. But my point is you just got to make the most of that, because in 5 years' time, when you're at some old person's club where no one really gives a crap, and you either show up or you don't, you'll think, God, I wish I hadn't overthought that way at uni. And what better way is there to live than actually savor every moment, rather than think, okay, this is all based on my performance. You'll remember it much better if you savor it.
Finn gets to learn all this stuff as a fresher. I think that's great. Like, you're going to get to take the wise words of Ollie and implement it into your life.
Wise is an overstatement. But
Okay, all right.
Yeah. No.
You don't look as blown away as I thought you'd be.
Sponge of information. Sponge for information. No, I am blown away. I'm looking forward to taking in every moment.
Say it like you mean it.
Going back to what you said, and we're going to have to wrap up soon, about naps.
Oh, fuck it. No, ignore that, mate. We've got 8 minutes. Let's make it something more meaningful than what makes a nap or a sleep.
Okay.
I've got a good question. Well, I think it's a good question. In this podcast, obviously, we'll be recording a few episodes, and hopefully someone will listen. Do you think you'll be perceived more as a hero or a villain?
What in life?
Just in life, yeah.
Oh,
as a person.
Last term a villain.
Really?
This term a hero, mate.
Nice.
That doesn't answer.
Yeah, but now I'm on the trajectory to dying as a hero.
Dying?
Yeah.
This podcast is going to kill you.
I make it to third year. I make it to third term, for fuck's sake. I wake up every day with liver pains.
Is what you imagine?
I can do an exam if you
Saz,
want.
when you ask that question, is that the sort of response you expected?
No, but I quite like the response. It's a good, insightful answer.
Yeah, it's all right, innit?
Ollie?
Hero or villain?
Hero or villain?
God, the way you said that.
Hero or villain? Oh, God. I still don't think you answered the question.
Which one would you rather, or which one do you think you will?
No.
Was it rather, or which one do I
Which
think
one do
I
you
will?
think you
You'd
will?
hope everyone would rather to be a hero.
Well, not necessarily. Sometimes
Okay,
it's good
you're
to be the bad boy of
the
the podcast. I'd have no objections to that. I'd like to think that I'm quite identifiable in some ways, and can possibly come off. Heroic is definitely overstating that, but you want to identify with your heroes more than you do your villains. I'm going to leave it at that and pass the same question to you.
Me, it depends who you ask, really, because I think.
Asking you.
Okay, well, I think that I think sometimes I think from afar I might be a villain, but actually, if you get to know me, I'm a hero.
Why from afar?
I just feel like Cambridge is quite a gossipy place. I'm gonna just say
big time.
And when people hear dribs and drabs or like little bits and bobs of like things about you, they can like judge you quite easily. And I feel like maybe.
So you think you've got a bad reputation?
The first time I ever met you, you fined Kanto for having a lisp.
Can't say that.
That was so
I'm
funny.
really sorry, Can. We've become really good friends since then. I would say we're best friends. But that's what I mean. I come off as a villain. Thing is, I like to break the awkward barrier and just like meet someone straight away. And sometimes that comes across too much or maybe like too confident. I don't know. But then
you ask direct questions.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
My direct questioning
and that can come across somewhat villainous.
Yeah, but I'm not. I promise. I'm a hero.
Well, I guess you sit down Toby Flood and all of a sudden you start brutally interrogating him about
I can't
something.
wait to talk to Toby Flood. I've got some questions already in my head.
I look forward to receiving a draft of the episode probably at 3 a.m.
Yep.
I also just want to see him in a dressing gown, mate.
Yeah, well, let's mention that.
Viewers on dressing gowns.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't have space to stand up. Sarah is standing up. Yeah, they look lovely.
I was looking through some old rugby shirts that I have at home, and I have a very small Toby Flood jersey that I
Oh,
wore as a young man.
would
that
it fit?
I might
Would it fit
wear.
her?
Oh,
If it doesn't fit
I would
you,
have been very young.
if it doesn't fit
Okay.
you, bring it
Oh
so
no,
that
I'm
Sarah
saying
can try
it
it on.
definitely doesn't fit me.
Okay, would it fit me?
You're tiny. Maybe. Maybe. Nah, I don't think.
If
Maybe.
not, bring it for Sarah.
I'll search for it. My parents come on Saturday.
Well, you
I'll
could
tell them
just
to
get
bring
it
it.
signed by doing
Yeah,
it.
bring it as a prop.
Oh, big time. If I
And
get
then,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't ask a teammate of mine.
I can.
Hi mate,
I'll
do you
pretend
mind signing
I
my
can do it.
jersey?
Don't pretend it's yours. The better story is that Finn has it.
I'll be
So
direct and honest.
Was Tobes a bit of an idol then, growing up?
He was like one of the first players I knew existed as like a very, very young child. And I was like, he's gone.
You need to tell him this.
Bear in mind, this is when I was in like junior school. Yeah.
But he deserves to know.
Yeah,
You should
I
know
know,
that
I
he's
know.
one of the first names that you heard in the context of
Mm.
rugby. That's fantastic. Wow. On the subject of dressing gowns, they do deserve a brief explanation because they
I
are
don't
a
think they
bit
do.
random.
Just leave it better unsaid.
I've
Leave the viewers
explained.
guessing.
It's your idea. the
Okay,
dressing
so
gowns.
my thought was
Boo.
Democracy. You get the deciding vote.
Democracy sucks,
Okay, well,
man.
why
do we
Make
have
me
to-
the dictator of this podcast.
What, you, Fresh and Finn?
Yeah?
No. Saz is the scariest. She's dictator, if anyone is. She scares me more than you do.
So I think that we ask the viewers. If anybody asks, if anybody listens all the way to this
If
point,
anyone makes it here, yeah. Just
Then
gotta find one of us and ask us.
yeah. Or next, if they message, because usually
Yeah.
they're going to be our friends, probably, hopefully listening. Then if they ask, then I'll explain. For now, it'll be a weird little quirk that we have.
Finn said to me you only had one friend, so that won't rack in.
I've made a couple since then, but I have one,
Big week.
I have one very good friend. Just the one.
Okay.
I don't think you need more than one good friend.
You disagree.
In the words of can't remember his name. He said you need 3 bad motherfuckers to take over a country.
He's had
What
3.
president said that?
He wasn't the president.
No.
He was
Why is
also
there president?
he was also the leader of a podcast. So I believe that completely. I found one. I just need 2 more people, and then I'll take over a
Well,
country.
you got 2 right here. Unless
No.
one of them was
No.
us. Why?
No.
Well, she's
No.
a villain, so no.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm the selection process is currently ongoing.
We need a swear jar because he's got 3 pennies in there right now. That's 3.
Probably about 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, well, you got 3 F-bombs at the very least. Yeah, viewer discretion is advised.
Find me.
Yeah, we probably will. Cool.
Okay, right. So how do we end this thing?
Well, so usually how podcasts work is you'll advertise what the next episode is going to be.
Well,
Is it Floody?
probably
Bloody's
not.
mid-Feb. I do need to message him.
Next episode,
How's your progress on Charlie,
Bannister.
Yeah.
Jamie Lannister?
C-Ban. He said that he would do it, but he has to wait till half term, Sunday the 11th. Oh, is
Same
that
week as
Sunday?
Bloody.
That is in like a
So,
week, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon we just find someone off the streets and bring them on, and we'll get an episode out next.
Also,
in a
well,
week.
this episode will come out with a promo, and we've got to wrap up really quickly. If you have an interesting story to tell, get in touch. The best interviews are with people who want to be interviewed.
Big
So,
time.
we want to speak to you.
We're really friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Should we say bye?
Bye.
Bye.